What's up, wonderful, amazing, sweet, and lovely people? How are you all doing today? Hope you all have an amazing day today. Hope you're not bad, still your joy. Welcome to Maryamsjoyfullife podcast. Today is a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are so amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm super excited to be here today, you guys. Today's a beautiful day. And thank you all so much for being a part of my world. I am so grateful for this podcast because not only is it blessing me, it's also blessing those who are tuning in. So thank you for joining today. I'm super grateful. Whenever I get the opportunity to be able to serve like I'm doing right now, it just kind of like, it makes me feel good. It tickles my soul. And plus I love to talk, you know what I mean? So I love being here, and I am grateful for every one of you. For those of you who have been watching, make sure you share this content with others you know it will benefit, and it'll mean so much to them, because you're actually adding to their improvement, their personal development. And also it would mean so much to me, which means that my messages that I'm learning, that have helped change my life, and also are helping to change my life, because this is a continuous process, is also, I'm sharing it with others. So I'm not experiencing the blessing alone. I'm sharing it with others. I'm being of service. So thank you for expanding my services to others. I really appreciate it. All right, you guys, today's a beautiful day. Thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. I want to tell you guys a story. A few years back, actually many years ago, I graduated college 12 years ago, 2014, and we are in 2024. So this was, what I'm about to tell you guys happened, let me see. It happened 11 years ago, before I graduated college. Maybe closer to 10 and a half years ago. But anyways, this was during my basketball career. So I remember this particular season, I was working very hard. I've been in the US for a long time. So during the summer breaks, I don't go home back to Nigeria. I stayed, and I was not just sitting around doing nothing. While I was on campus, living on campus, I also had to practice. So I was working out with the trainers, because during the summer months, the training facilities are open. And for international players who are here, who don't go home, you have to keep working out. Because as you're working out, then you can get a stipend, to eat and keep working out until the school season starts, until school starts back in fall. So I'm always on campus during this time, working out, practicing, lifting weights, every day, beating my body up. Like, oh my goodness, I worked hard. And plus, I'm somebody who, I have a lot of internal strength. So when I'm pushing weights, even if it is very heavy, from my expression, you don't think it's heavy. You think it's lightweight. So my coaches, they thought that the weight that they were giving to me was too light because of how I was pushing it. But see, it wasn't that it was too light. It was just that I have inner strength where I can control it and push it. So they kept adding weights. But anyways, I worked hard. I didn't really have breaks, really. Everybody else would have breaks and go home maybe for 3 weeks, you know what I mean, up to a month. And I'd be on campus working out, of course, hanging out with friends. So anyways, this particular season, before it started, I was working out. When the season started, players came back, and see, I was already very fit, because throughout the summer I didn't go anywhere. Everybody else went home and hung out with family and friends, but I didn't go anywhere. I was on campus working out, practicing, and I was just getting ready for the season. There was really no off season for me. So my knees started hurting, and when your knees are hurting, if you play sports, you know how it is. When you're hurt, you need time to heal before you get back in there. But see, I didn't have time because the season was starting. So they try to do sports medicine. I'd go to the training room, get a massage, get some heat pads, get in the cold tub, which I'd never liked the cold tub. It stings. The first few minutes you get in there, oh my gosh, your whole body is numb. Your knees, we would have to get in from our waist down. So that stuff stings. And then as you sit in there for about 2 minutes, within 2 minutes, it subsides, it reduces. So we're supposed to be in the tub for I think it was 2 to, how many minutes? 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So, but the first 2 minutes is usually like the hardest. So we'd go in there after practice, and that would help me. And then they took me to some trainers and some, some specialists, and they were like, okay, I should start running on hard surface, that I could run on turf or treadmill to do my like conditioning workout. So while I was doing all that, I was still working hard. I was never like lazy. I worked hard, put my body to it, and it was really taking its toll on me. So I was giving it my all, but the coach was not really having it. I would notice that I would give it my all and work so hard, and then when games started, she wouldn't play me. Because the way that you get to see how hard you worked and you see your performance and how good you are is when you actually compete on the floor. So she wouldn't play me. And then every time, like I like to bring like the spirit to my team. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. When everybody's feeling down and we're losing and it's like, oh my God, depressing. I don't like depressing atmosphere. I don't. I always try to like cheer us up. Let's go. Let's go. Even though I'm also needing cheering. So I found that when I try to cheer people up, it also helps me get fired up. So I had very selfish teammates. Not all of them. But my team was pretty selfish. Everybody was looking out for themselves, but just for a few people. So the coach wouldn't play me. I would work so hard and get ready to play, expecting to play. They wouldn't play me. And see, I was working so hard, giving myself and beating my body up, trying to show them that I was ready to play. But still, they wouldn't give me time. Then they would give me, sometimes when I would get the time to play, when I'm getting into the groove of things, like warming up into the game to really show my skills, my teammates wouldn't want to pass the ball. Like when I come down, they give me the ball, I score the first time, we go back. And then I score the second time again, we go back. So there are players who, once they notice that you're in the zone, especially maybe your point guards, your guards who have the ball, who pass the ball to the forwards. I was a forward. They won't want to pass the ball anymore because they don't want you to outshine them. So we had players like that on my team. That's why we lost. We were terrible because we were selfish. It was a team game, but majority of the players were looking out for themselves. So in the locker room, I'd have teammates telling me, I'm not going to pass you the ball. You know what I mean? All of that crazy stuff that will not help you win because you're all in this together. So it was obvious that people were out for themselves and they didn't want us to win as a team. I mean, the head coach acted like she wanted us to win, to do things together, but there were players that she placed ahead of others. Even when those players are messing up, she wouldn't want to give the others a chance. You know what I mean? So anyways, that experience was horrible. But I still tried to give it my all and show up. It was not a positive atmosphere. I didn't like it. I was stressed out. But I still try to keep going because I'm naturally a positive person. I don't like heavy energies to just like sit on me for a long time. So I kept trying. Weeks after weeks, I would go out there and push my body so hard, even my knees hurting and everything. I'd go and get these injections in my knees, and then they'd help me feel better. And I'll be out there running harder than everybody else, getting ready, and expect to be played when the game starts. And then the same thing would happen again. I noticed that the harder I worked and I was showing them that I was ready to play, they were not playing me. They were ignoring me. And anytime they wanted the bench to be cheering on the players that were on the floor, I would like be the lead cheerleader cheering. And then we had players who would be like, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that, don't be loud, man, voices. And then they would try to bark at me, oh yeah, you're not even playing, you're so loud. I was like, but the coaches said we should cheer on. I may not be playing, but I'm also part of the team. We got to cheer on the team. So it was just a terrible atmosphere. So, all right, so it got to a point where I had to make a decision for myself. I came to a point where I felt like working so hard and beating my body up to show a coach and a team that I'm ready to play, who are not ready to see my value, who don't want to see my worth. Why should I keep pushing myself when at the end of the day, I'm the one who feels all these pains? You know what I mean? Like, it's not funny. So everybody saw how hard I worked and how much energy I was putting in. And then, of course, those ones who didn't like me and who didn't want me to shine and be on the court, they'd be happy because after I worked hard during practice, they'd be like, yep, you're working out for nothing because you're not going to play the game. Because the purpose of working out and getting yourself ready is to be able to play in the game. But I was not getting that. And the coaches were just kind of like, it was just mean. You know what I mean? To me, the attitude was just terrible. So one thing also about the coaches was they wanted you to come to their offices, sit down and chit chat. And this chit chat involved gossiping about other players, bringing them down, tearing them down. I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be a part of a group that tore down people for no reason, especially with the leaders who are supposed to be leaders. So other players would go in and hang out. Not all, because there were still some who had, who didn't want to do any of that stuff. But there were others who would go out there and tear down other players and gossip and stuff. So I noticed they wanted me to come by their office all the time and hang out. I was like, I don't want to hang out in the offices and tear down people. I really don't want to. Because at this point too, I was already feeling some type of way because I noticed that the amount of time and energy and effort I was giving, it wasn't what they were giving back to me. I was disrespected. So I didn't want to. Whenever they invite me, I say, yeah, nope, I'm busy. I'm not coming. So I was kind of stubborn. They knew that I was stubborn too. So then I started noticing the attitude of my players, my teammates more towards me. It was getting like a little bit worse than before. And I knew that they had been meeting. They had meetings behind my back. Meetings that they intentionally went to. There were cliques on my team. And the coaches noticed that I was not pushing myself anymore. Even during practice, I stopped pushing myself. I stopped even clapping or doing any of that stuff too much. I would clap and share a little bit and then I would stop. Because I noticed that the more I did it, the very same players who should be the ones, who are the ones like who are making us lose, who don't pass the ball, who mess up in defense and everything, they don't even cheer. And the coaches can't say anything to them because they had like very sharp tongues. They would retaliate and cuss and stuff. But I didn't cuss them out. But I noticed that any time that somebody else did something to them that was hurtful, that they should have, responded to those people for, they would just turn towards me. And it felt like there was just this energy about me that made them feel like they could just pour down their negativity on me. So I stopped cheering. I stopped caring. So when we'll be at practice, I'll just go as slow as I could go, try, and I wasn't even trying. Sometimes I tell them my knees are hurting, so I can't play. Because I had already, for all these months, practiced, got myself ready, did all this training, only to just sit on the bench and not be played. And even when I'm cheering on them, you see people attacking me and coming at me. So I realized that, number one, I lost interest and that drive to keep showing people who have already made up their minds about me that I was ready to play when they were not going to play me. And they already had their cliques and they had already drawn their conclusions about me. So I stopped. So one day we went out to the cold tub that I was telling you guys about. This was after practice. I noticed that, there was a difference in the attitudes of my teammates. Some of them were acting some type of way because they had a meeting with the coaches without me. And the coaches had told them to try to ask me why I'm not playing as hard. We're supposed to be a team and I'm not even showing that I cared. I knew they had that meeting because it's easy for me. I can read people's energy. Even before I knew that I could read energy, before my personal development, many years after, I could read people's energy. There's certain things that you can just tell. If you're aware, you can just tell. It's just a natural way as a human to be able, you can tell in the shift of character, the changes of energy, and the way people treat you, you can tell when something has happened behind. So I knew they had a meeting and the coaches had talked to them about it because it was obvious I stopped playing hard. I stopped pushing myself. I would complain if they try to give me more weights. I tell them, this is too much. I'm tired. My knees are hurting, so I can't. So I started creating boundaries. I noticed that they were acting weird. And then one of them, who was like the leader, the chief leader, that was assigned, that was outspoken, that could be the lead, whatever, to address me, said, she called my name, because my last name, my maiden name, last name, father's name is Dogo. She was like, Dogo, we have something to say. I was like, okay, what do you have to say? Well, Dogo, we had a meeting and we noticed that you're not trying as hard. You're acting like you're not a part of the team and you're not giving it your best on the court anymore. So we just wanted to talk about it because we're all a team. We're all supposed to work hard and be a part of this. I was like, okay, is that all? I was like, yeah. I was like, number one, have I not been working hard? Have you guys not seen me bust my butt? Even when my knees are hurting, I would still bust my butt and play so hard. Do everything that I'm supposed to do to get myself ready. Yeah. I get ready and cheer the loudest for you guys sitting on the bench. Does the coach put me in the game? No. When one of y'all misbehave, disrespect the coaches, who do they turn and they put the blame on me for no reason, like I'm the person's parent? So why would I keep giving my best to a team that doesn't value it? And when I know giving my best is putting a lot of pressure on my body, and yet I don't even get to play to experience the benefit of seeing what I'm working towards. So if you were in my shoes, would you do the same? Well, I get it. But have you seen me work hard? Have you seen me push myself even when it's hard for me? So I've done it all this while, yet I don't even get the benefit of stepping on the court or playing. And even while I'm on the bench trying to cheer on you guys, you have some people trying to disrespect me and saying that I'm too loud and this, when this is what we're supposed to be doing for a team. Yeah, I've seen it. Good. So the reason I stopped is because my body is hurting, and plus there is no point in playing hard if I'm not going to play. Why am I working hard? I'm working that's so I can enjoy the game like you guys are. So they're not going to play me in the game, so what's the point? They were like, yeah, you're right. You've been trying. I was like, good. So I was able to shut them up because they've seen me put in the work. They've seen me commit myself. They've seen me show up for everybody else. But when it was my turn, people were not showing up for me. And then some of my teammates too, we even like, we became connected, you know what I mean? From everything and everything I went through and everything. Anyways, developed a good relationship with some of them. But it still didn't make us any better. And I couldn't wait to graduate. Even though I had one more year to play, one more year of college basketball to play, I decided after graduating, I'm not going to go back for my master's. There's no point in going back for my master's and play with the same people who were like not good for me. There were times I woke up in the morning even from my bed in the dorm and I'm like dreading, do I want to go out there or not? Do I just say I'm sick so they leave me alone? So there were many, many mornings I woke up like that and I didn't want to go. I'd already quit. My spirit had already left that gym. I was just biding my time until I graduated. And when I did, I was so happy. I was so happy. And they still had the nerve to call me and tell me, you have to come back for your master's. You have to play. Oh, we're not going to pay for summer school. And one thing about basketball is when you give your 2 years, you're all and you commit yourself. And of course, I wasn't somebody in class who was giving them troubles like some of my teammates were failing and stuff. And they still tried their hardest to make sure they didn't fail. They didn't have any problems with me in class. I was an academic All-American, which meant that I was getting A's and B's. So I graduated magna cum laude. So after giving your all in basketball, your bills, everything has to be paid for by scholarship because I was on full ride scholarship. So when she was threatening me with that, I said, yeah, you're right. I know the rules. The school will have to pay because I gave my all. I committed myself and gave the 2 years that I committed to. And classes wise, I freaking crushed it. Basketball, yeah, I did. So if I'm deciding I don't want to come back a third year, I have worked for my degree. So any bills that need to be covered, you're going to cover it. So anyways, tried to threaten me with that, thinking I didn't have sense. Of course, it didn't work. Everything was covered. So why am I telling you guys this story? The reason I'm bringing this up is because there are times when you give it your all in the thing that you're doing. Even it could be in your relationship, your family. But people don't see it. They don't value you because you have not drawn the line, because you've not created a boundary. You've been the one who's out there for everyone else, cheering for everybody else, but nobody else is cheering for you. The very same people that you're cheering on to succeed are the same people who do not want you to succeed. Draw a boundary and stop. Stop. Stop making it seem like your life depends on cheering them on. No. You can shift your attention. Stop putting that attention on yourself. Start cheering yourself on. Start focusing on you and stop doing the things that are no longer serving you. If you're around people who constantly drain the energy out of you and expect certain things of you, but do not give it back in return, because what you're sowing is what you should be reaping. But there are people who will intentionally give you, when you're sowing positive into them, they're giving you negative. It is not your responsibility to try to see them, to try to make them see what they are doing wrong. What you need to do is stop pouring your energy into what no longer serves you. That's it. And there are people who are in a place of power, a position of power, who are surrounded by other people who can be manipulated to either like you or not like you. Say certain things that can like maybe push your career forward or push you backwards. But one thing I want you to know that is the power, it always lies with you. Anybody that can be convinced not to help you was never set by God to help you in the first place. Excuse me. That road that brought you guys together is just a temporary road. It's for you to learn a lesson. And for me, the lesson I had to learn was the lesson to draw boundaries. Draw boundaries, know where I'm at, know who I am, and not let people continue to push me over without standing up for myself. I learned to stand up for myself. I learned to quit trying too hard for people who would never try hard for me. People who will change their minds and gossip just because I'm not acting the way they expect me to, bringing myself down to their level to behave a certain way. Then they think that they have the power to destroy my life. Nobody does have the power to destroy your life. If you're somebody who always prides himself or herself in giving your best to whatever you're doing, keep giving your best, but be very mindful and watchful of who you're giving your best to and where you're pouring your energy. Because the fact that somebody's in a position of power doesn't mean that they control your destiny. You control your destiny. And it starts with the boundaries that you create. So when I decided to start creating boundaries, I noticed that they were like, ooh, very careful around me. You know what I mean? I would just change everything that I tolerated. Because it was obvious I gave it my all. Giving it your all and not getting back what you expect, what is supposed to be given to you, it tells you, okay, this is not the place. This is not the place. This is not the place for me. But I was patient enough to wait until the appointed time where I was going to get the main thing that brought me to that school. Apart from the basketball part, to make sure I graduated. I didn't want to be like other friends that I knew who transferred from college to college because they had a bad experience. No, I don't just quit when things get tough. I give it my all, and if it's not working, God is going to show me a clear path to walk on. And usually it's a path of completion. I don't ever end in a deficit. I don't ever end in a deficit because God sees my heart. I don't go into something hoping to stop halfway. I go into it with a heart to complete what I started. So I want to encourage those of you who are in the habit of quitting and giving up. Don't give up. Try to stay a little bit longer. Hold on a little bit longer to whatever you're doing. Stay with it. And when it comes to people, when you're pouring into them and all you're getting back is negativity, stop pouring into them. Look for, if you are somebody who likes to pour into people, look for a set of people you can pour into who will appreciate it. But if you have people in your life who feel entitled for your energy and just to drain the life out of you and make you feel bad about it, you are not obligated to continue to be around them, to continue to talk to them, to continue to hang out with them. No. You are not. And you are not obligated to pretend like you're okay with how they are treating you. Don't do that. Because whatever you allow will persist. Whatever you allow will persist. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Whatever you allow will persist. Always give it your best shot. But if it's not working, it's not working. No matter how hard you try. Even if you present yourself to be sacrificed for people who are not worthy of it, who will never see your worth, your sacrifice will mean nothing. It will mean nothing. So you are important. Stop transferring your importance to other people. Stop trying to get your feel like, oh, I have to make them feel important so I can feel important. No, you've got to take care of you because you are also a person. You're an individual, you're a soul, having a human experience. You have to treat yourself. Even the Bible says, love your enemies as yourself. But I notice a lot of us, most of us, we're all messed up in our beliefs. We're loving people more than we love ourselves. Love your enemy as yourself. We don't even practice self-love. We don't. I never used to practice self-love, but now I am. I thought that just wearing myself out, trying to please people, make others happy, give up my all was the way to go. No, it's not. No, it's not. You have to fill your own freaking cup first before filling somebody else's cup. So for me, I'm growing every day. If I notice that something no longer serves me and is draining me and stealing my joy, it's time to move on from that. Cut, disconnect. We're moving on to something else. Because I am the soul, the spiritual self. I have the power to stop creating what I don't want and create what I want. So you have the power to change your life. And if you've been praying for the people around you to change so they can act better towards you, baby, stop that prayer. That's why you're frustrated and miserable. You're thinking that the power is outside of you. The power is within you. Change. Whatever is causing me to be around such people, whatever it is that is causing me to gravitate towards people who do not serve me, that is attracting this type of people into my life, whatever seed that has been planted in me of low self-esteem, of unworthiness, that's causing me to be around people who don't see my worth, people who treat me like trash, yet I want to stay around them, I command that thing to be killed in me, to be removed in me. You start praying over yourself and doing some. There's actually meditations that you can do. With the meditations that I've been doing on this channel, you guys have seen the previous videos where I posted emotional healing. Emotional healing meditation helps you heal from low self-esteem, feeling of unworthiness, and feeling like you have to stand by people who hurt you, who break your heart. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Your life is not going to change when you keep doing the same thing over and over again. If it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve you. The way to change is to do something different. So embrace a different path. Stop killing yourself over something that you will never benefit from, something that is breaking your heart and that's stealing your joy. And for anybody who can be convinced not to help you, that person was never placed to help you in the first place. So do not put your hope and your trust in people. Put your hope and your trust in the God within you. I know that you have the power to change the trajectory of your life by changing your thoughts. Remove that belief in you that, oh, there has to be somebody out there who can come help me. No. See yourself being helped. Claim what it is that you want. The shape that that person will take, who God will use to help you, is up to God. It's not up to you. Now, usually I've seen God reveal it to people in their dreams. I've got feelings in my body usually when God is sending new people to come into my life to help me. But it's usually not the people that I'm thinking He's going to help use. So stop projecting your expectations on others and bring your thoughts back into your body. Bring that focus back into your body and begin to watch and see what begins to happen in your life. So with that being said, I appreciate you for watching today. I hope this episode inspired you in some way. Know that you have the power to change anything. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you. It's what you think about you and the boundaries you are willing to set. That's what actually changes everything. So me, every day, in every way, I'm learning to set new boundaries in my relationships, in my life, in my communication and interaction with other people. Because baby, you are worthy, all right? You are worthy of love. You're worthy of the good things that your heart desires, all right? You just got to embrace it, believe it, and begin to walk in it, okay? So thank you for watching today. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want more of these videos, make sure you comment and you thumbs up below and follow me for the ride. Share this content with your friends and your family. Keep coming back. It is my joy to keep sharing on this podcast, and I'm super excited because a lot of things have really impacted my life, and I want to share more with those of you who have been called to listen to me, because we're not called to listen to everybody else but certain people. So super grateful to you. Thank you. And there are different ways that you can work with me. You can do one-on-one consultations with me by emailing consultations to partners@Maryamsjoyfullife.com. It's actually in the description box below. And also you can support different ways. And also I can help you plan your family vacation. I'm a travel agent. I actually own the agency. So if you want me to plan memorable vacations for you and your family, check out www.maryamsjoyfullifeluxuryvacation.com. And I'll be more than happy to help you out. And also check out my vlog channels. I vlog with my family. So I appreciate you guys so much. It's been nice coming to you today. Enjoy your day and know that you are enough and you are worthy. All right? Love you. Bye.